is a morning walk conversation with His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on September 15th, 1975, in Vrindavan, India.
See, what is the purpose of life?
That is their ignorance.
So our mission is to eradicate this ignorance. They are living in a wrong conception of life. That is the point. The human society is making so-called progress and a wrong conception of life. What is the answer? That's what they have been described as mudha, because they are living in a wrong concept of animal life. Where from you have come?
Kathmandu.
Huh?
Kathmandu.
Tonight
I'll go to Hyderabad. Collecting money. So one thing I find, even when we explain to these people, just like smoking cigarettes, in Kathmandu I was explaining to people, what kind of enjoyment is this from smoking cigarettes? You're coughing. This is the way Achyutananda Swami also describes, so I picked up from him. You're coughing, you're killing yourself. And he also describes like this, intoxication means poison. You're toxic means poison. So this is intoxication, you're actually administering poison. What kind of sanity is this? So all those people, they told me, well, I'll give up cigarettes later.
At least they admit the point.
Yes, some people, one hippie I was talking to, he was saying, I believe in technology and Darwin's theory of evolution. And so I said, the greatest technologists in America have said that cigarettes can kill you. Why are you smoking these cigarettes? He said, yes, I want to give it up, but he kept on smoking. And to Indian people I explained about karma, according to your activity, and they all admit, yes, there is karma. So I say, why don't you serve Krishna? They say, later. Okay, I'll say later.
Hare Krishna.
So your instructions in Srimad Bhagavatam can stop their lust, can stop by hearing from Vedic authorities. Their lust can be dissolved, or do they have to just simply be frustrated in their attempts to enjoy sense gratification?
They are being frustrated. Who is successful in the material world? Have you got any instant that he is successful? When?
In every field someone is miserable. Just in America there was one lady, very famous etiquette expert, Amy Vanderbilt. So she jumped out of her window. She was 69.
There are many. I saw in Detroit, I think, the bridge is covered.
San Francisco. The Golden Gate Bridge there put...
not the Golden Gate, that Sandy White. We crossed one bridge to go to the...
Oh yes, San Diego also. They have these fences to keep, so when people jump off, they're caught by the fences.
And I think in Berkeley, the tower.
Oh yes. In the college university, they have a big clock tower.
These are the science. How they are disappointed. They are always ready to commit suicide. So where is success?
They're practically committing suicide by their activities.
That is also another side. But practically you see.
But by the smoking cigarettes, meat eating, you explain to them, the doctors have found that meat eating...
I have seen about some 30 years ago, one man was sitting, I was traveling in the railway apartment, and all of a sudden he jumped through the window. All of a sudden. He was sitting nicely. What he was thinking, I do not know. But he took the opportunity of open window and jumped.
kind of insanity overpowered him.
Insanity, everyone is overpowered by insanity. Anyone in this material world. And he is trying to be happy here. Everyone is in insanity. They are trying to differentiate. They do not know. The only solution is, as Krishna said, Sarvadan Mahan Paristhati Mahamikam. That they do. Neither they will accept.
Especially Indian people, they say, well, if I surrender to Krishna, who will feed me?
And the Indian, American, everyone. Why you are American, you are so proud of it.
No, no, but because in India people know that they should surrender to Krishna, no?
But you also know.
But the general mass, of Americans, they don't understand.
These are faulty, fault-finding. It is no good. Everyone. Krishna did not say for Indian or American, for everyone. But at the present moment, Indians are misled that they have been induced to think that if they become like American or Western people, they will be happy. That is misleading.
I was telling them that in America the big thing is they want to raise the standard of living. But then those people that raise the standard of living, they're also killing themselves.
Yeah.
But they don't want to listen. Actually, in Nepal, I was reading every day in the paper. The king was saying that our goal is economic development. That is the top priority. Number one priority is economic development.
Who? Which king?
King of Nepal, King Birendra. He's the only Hindu king in the world. And he has he's embarking on so many programs of economic development in his country.
Punachar Vitachar Banama. They have been described as seeing the few. They have no eyes to see that Europe and America, they have developed so much economically. But what is, you feel there, the jumping. They are going to chew the senses, chewing the chew. Hare Krishna.
Does a person have to experience enough frustration to give up this project?
Frustration, they are already said. Everyone is frustrated. But because they are muras, they do not know that they are being frustrated. That is the thought. Everyone is frustrated.
That goes on perpetually until they receive the mercy of true devotees? That frustration or that...
Well, Krishna failed to give mercy. And what devotee will do? They are stubborn to stick to that principle. Krishna said personally, Sarvadharman Paritama, but who is going to do that? And what the devotees will do?
We just engage them in devotional service so they ultimately
Yes, that is our mission, somehow or other. Go on repeatedly saying.
Because even that atheist hippie, after he was talking to me about the cigarettes, then the next morning I sold him a book and he gave 20 rupees.
Yes, that is it. Somehow or other induce. Obstinacy. What is that? Dog obstinacy?
They say stubborn as an ass.
Setting different types of religious system so that one may not have to surrender to Krishna. This is right.
Many people were on the way to, even on the way to here.
And big Swamis are saying, yes, whatever you manufacture is all right. Yatamat tatava. Whatever ways you manufacture by concoction, that is all right. So they are satisfied. If somebody says, you surrender unto me, that is not very palatable. If somebody says, no, you can surrender anywhere, that is very palatable.
Because that means no surrender.
Huh?
To surrender anywhere
Yeah.
means no surrender.
No.
Then they're satisfied.
Many people say we have to do our karma. They're telling me, do your duty.
And this is the duty. You surrender to Krishna. This is the only duty.
And they say their family, their wife, their job, their children, all these things.
Sometimes they say, when he wills it, then I will do it.
Which is not willing when he says that you do this.
And they say when he makes my heart, when he puts it in my heart, and when he makes my heart open up to him,
You have no heart. You are simply stone. That is sung by some Vaishnava, that my heart is harder than the stone, because I know that even the stone melts by chanting Hare Krishna, but my heart does not melt. Therefore, I think it is harder than the stone.
Once somebody asked Prabhupada Maharaj in Calcutta, that when can you show me Krishna? Prabhupada Maharaj said, that you have it Krishna, you cannot see because your eyes are stones. They are not the eyes. If you have got the eyes, you can see it here. And these people have not come to worship the stone. They have come to see Krishna, and they are decorating, and they know that Krishna is here.
Yes.
At Calcutta.
Sir, what did he say?
Yes, Prabhupada, he accepted.
Srila Prabhupada, we should return.
Return? All right. Seen by Sriman Janachurita Bhakti Virochanena Santas Sadaiva Hridayasvi Viloka. Unless there is love for God, who can see God? Santa Sadaiva Hridayasvi. One who is lover of God, such saintly person, 24 hours, he sees simply God, nothing else.
Last night, Srila Prabhupada, and he was saying that if everything is ultimately spiritual, if one is spiritually advanced, he sees everything is spiritual, and if everything is spiritual, then we can carry on just doing the same things that we're doing now, because it's all for God.
No, Krishna says that everything is my energy, Masthani Sarvabhutani, Naham Tejav, but I am not there. This is the answer. Everything is Krishna's expansion, but not that everything is Krishna. Huh?
It is also not a spiritual.
What is that?
The energy is there, but it is not a spiritual.
No, it is spiritual. But because I do not know Krishna, therefore I see material. Just like this microphone, it is being used for Krishna, therefore it is spiritual. Actually, originality is from Krishna. So we are not using this material thing. Everything whatever we are using, that is spiritual.
Srila Prabhupada, if this is spiritual, spiritual means eternal. But this microphone will fall to pieces.
Yes, but scientifically it will keep the energy, a conservation of energy. Even if it is destroyed, it will remain. The material manifestation means bhutta praliya. It is sometimes destroyed and sometimes manifest. But the energy is there.
And also remaining the different form.
Whatever it may be, just like this is earth. Now we prepare hundreds of thousands of earthen pots and dolls. When it is destroyed, again it is earth. So, when it is manifested, it is earth. When it is not manifested, it is earth. So from the spiritual energy of Krishna, everything becomes manifested. Therefore, originally it is spiritual. Krishna says, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Khangamano Buddha. Bhinna me prakriti, it is my prakriti. Energy. So how Krishna's energy can be material? Because we can't forget Krishna, therefore it appears material. Hare Krishna. Jai. तबियत ठीक है तो? Mahaprabhu, as soon as he entered the Jagannath temple, immediately fainted. Did he see the wooden Jagannath? It is a question of seeing and prepare the eyes to see.
Once I went to one Gaudiya Math in South India, and I showed them a picture of our deities in Hyderabad. They said, this Krishna is white. So later on I told that story to Achyutananda Swami, and he said, you know what I tell those people? I say, no, Krishna is not white, you just can't see Krishna. So like that sometimes we're criticized. But for Krishna, the deity being one.
Krishna's energy is all spiritual, then why in Bhagavad Gita does Krishna make a distinction by separated material energy? Why does he say separated?
That's why I am talking, and this will be reproduced as it is, only it is separate.
He's not personally present.
When you replay, the same voice will come, but I am not there. So if you want to utilize this separated energy for Krishna consciousness, then it will help you. Just like the deity, everyone knows it is stone, but why you are worshipping stone? Yeah. It is as good as Krishna. It is not worshipping the stone.
Persons who are worshipping, it never come to their mind that it is a stone.
No. Therefore, that is the qualification. Qualified, you will see in speech.
There are some religions that, especially the one I'm born in, they were especially preaching, that you should never see a graven image of God.
Mm-hmm.
You should never see a graven image of God.
Yeah, that is required, because you are not competent to see God everywhere.
No, but they prohibit the worship of this vigraha. They say that God cannot be made into a graven image.
They say it is blasphemy.
Yes, we also say. Although everything is expansion of the energy of Krishna, not that everything is Krishna. That is the difference between Mayavad philosophy and Vaishnava philosophy. Vaishnava philosophy takes everything as expansion of Krishna's energy. Parasya Brahmana Shakti Jaya Sadvedam Akhiram Jagat. Everything is expansion of the energy of the Supreme Brahma. Krishna confirms it. Maya Tadamidam Sadvam. Without Krishna, there is no existence. But that does not mean that anything existence is Krishna. That is Mahabharata.
These religions even say that it is offensive to say the name of God.
So what can I do? We ask them, say something, so what can I do?
Even when they write the word God, they don't say G-O-D, they say G dash then D. So that they've indicated God, but they haven't said God.
It's too holy to pronounce.
No, they can say G, 0 and D. 0 between G and D. That is a nice explanation.
0 signifies their love for Him.
Yes. 0 is controlling both sides, G and D. Just like if you multiply something by 0, what it becomes?
0.
That's all. Sunnavadi.
Are following very strictly. How can we preach to them?
Mm-hmm.
Some of those people who are following these religions very strictly, how do we preach to them, those people?
Ask them, what do you mean by religion?
And they will say what is in their Shastra, their
Let
Bible.
them say what is that. Then you can talk with them.
They say, I love God, I go to church once a week I go, Sunday morning, I make my prayer. So what more? I have my family, I have my job.
But I was reading in this National Geographic magazine, there's one sect of people in New York City, very orthodox, following, they don't even go to cinema, when they have free time, they're studying the Shastras, their Shastras. And they're very strict. They don't even shave their faces because it says do not round the corner of your face. So they have these big, beards like this. And their whole life is dedicated like this to reading and they also sing and
that
dance.
That is something good.
I taught in when I was a teacher in New York, I taught in one of their schools. I taught the little children.
Then, if like member comes, he can simply stay in the guest room without any charges for 3 days.
And whether he's making progress by how he feels, or should he just simply execute the order of the spiritual master and not worry about how he feels? How should, in other
If
words,
he is making progress, he must feel. If he is not making progress, then he will not feel.
and that feeling is a willingness to serve Krishna, or?
Well, that is always. Whether he is actually serving Krishna, that is devotion. So, if he is actually serving Krishna, then anartha, nivrittisya, bhajana kriya. Bhajana kriya means anartha, nivrittisya. This is the result. If the anartha is not decreasing and becoming 0, then he is not making bhajan. He is doing something else.
And if he's not feeling increased ecstasy, then he should try to change his position or try to perform.
No, there is no change. The position is the same.
Because once this question was asked in class, a devotee asked that I'm losing my taste for serving the deity and I don't know what to do. And so they asked this question. So
You can chant. There is no question of I am losing interest. If he is actually following rules and regulations, there is no question of losing interest.
There's never any decrease.
Huh?
There's never any decrease.
I mean, if one simply follows everything that's outlined in the temple schedule, and
Yes,
then he'll,
I should be strictly followed.
then his feeling will gradually develop. He'll gradually develop love. Then.
Yes. Artha nivrittisya tato nishtha. If his anartha is decreased, then he becomes firmly Krishna. There is no question of decrease.